The average price of a gallon of gas in August was $4.25. 4 months later, the average price of a gallon of gas was $3.65. If the price is decreasing exponentially, find the monthly rate of decrease. All right, so the key word here is exponential. So let's put our equation in here. And I'm going to use this equation where Q sub 0 represents our starting amount, sometimes known as the initial quantity. R is our percent of increase or decrease. N is the number of time periods, and then Q sub N is the amount after the number of time periods. So in this situation, the Q sub N's and the Q's are standing for price. So let's make a little table of the information we have over here. So N is a time frame, and in this case, since they're asking for monthly rate of decrease, N is going to be months, and sometimes that helps to jot that down. Okay, that's going to be the number of months. So we're given, let's see, we know in August, let's write this here. We know in August the price was $4.25. And then in this 4 months later, so I guess that would be December, August, September, October, November, December. Let's say December. The price was $3.65. So what we want to do is decide what our initial amount's going to be. And I think just letting August be the initial amount's the way to go. I mean, if you wanted to be fun and crazy, you could let December be initial and go backwards and let August be -4, but that's a little weird. All right, so 4 months later, we have $3.65. Or maybe you let January be 0, and then August would be 8. But then you'd have to go figure out what your Q sub 0 is. So the benefit of making August your 0 month is now you've got your Q sub 0 value is $4.25. All right, you don't have to go figure it out. So what we're trying to figure out here is the rate. So what we need to do is plug in values for all of the other variables, and we've got our Q sub 0, or our Q sub 0, and then we're going to use this right here, this N and this Q sub N. These go together. These are data points. So we know after 4 months that the price was $3.65. So 3.65 equals 4.25. times 1 plus R is what we're trying to find, and I put 4 here because the 4 goes with 365. So what this is saying is my price started at $4.25. It got affected by some rate increase. This is our multiplier over a 4-month period, and then the price was $3.65. So something to really keep in mind here is since this is in months, R is going to be a monthly rate increase, not an annual. All these time things go together. Monthly rate increase. If N is in years, then your R will come out to be a yearly rate increase. If N is in days, then R is going to be a daily rate increase. Okay, let's do some algebra and solve this. So we're going to divide by 4.25. And remember, we're just going to leave these as decimals and type it all in at the end. Do you remember how to get rid of a 4th power? Hopefully you're not subtracting that 1. You can't do that yet. It's trapped inside that 4th power. To undo a 4th power, you do a 4th root. So now we're going to have to type in the 4th root of 3.65 over 4.25. This 4th root and 4th power undo each other, so we're simply left with 1 plus R. I don't really need that parenthesis. Now we could subtract the 1 over, and we're left with what we're going to punch into our calculator. Maybe I'll write it this way this time. You could put -1 plus, or you could put this 4th root and then -1. Just make sure that you write your -1 so it's well outside your 4th root. You're not taking the 4th root of that. So let's go to our calculator. Remember, if you don't have a 4th root, another thing you could do is take it to the 1/4 power, or the 0.25 power. That's 1/4. Alrighty, I'll use this calculator. So I'm going to type in this business to the 1/4 power because I don't have a fourth root button on this calculator. So parenthesis 3.65 divided by 4.25, close parenthesis, take that thing to the 1/4 power. 1/4 is an easy decimal, so I'm just going to do 0.25. I'm going to go ahead and hit equals, and then I'm going to subtract 1 from that, and I get a negative. Now, I'm expecting a negative because remember this was a decrease. So let's say 0.037333. Okay, R equals negative 0.37333. So as a percent, if I move my decimal over 2 places and I write R as a percent, it's negative 3.7 and however many threes you want to put here. So again, if I rewrote my equation, this is the answer. This is the monthly percent decrease. That's how much it's going down per month. But if I wanted to rewrite my equation with that piece of information in there, I would put my Q sub 0 in. And then I'd have 1 plus, and now I need to go back to the decimal form, negative 0.037333 to the nth power. If you wanted to write these as percents, you could write this as 100% minus 3.733%. Okay, so then you would have some number smaller than 1. Oh, what would that be? Let's see. 1, that's our number right there, and then we're adding 1 to it to get that 0.96266. 926, is that what it was? 96266. Okay, I thought I forgot something because it's about 96%, right? Maybe I should just, we'll stop right there. Okay, so there's your model. Now you could use this equation to predict the gas price a certain number of months from now if this trend continues, which it probably won't in the long run, right? These kind of decreases and increases are usually short run, and then something changes and affects the price. It levels out, it goes back up, whatever. Okay, I hope that helped solving equations for rate when we have a decrease.